Hi folks, welcome to your mwis Friday Planner in association with Ellis Brigham. It's fair to say there's quite a bit going on over the next few days, some wild conditions in there at times as some Atlantic storm systems move across the British Isles. Now we'll see some precipitation quite frequently as well, and that will fall and lie as some snow over the mountains for periods with some cycles of freeze and thaw. Generally the coldest conditions for longest over the Scottish mountains, shorter lived periods of freeze across the mountain tops of England and Wales. There is the prospect of some colder air to get in for a few days at the end of the week. We'll come to that in a moment. Let's have a look at the short-term detail. We'll mix and match between the freezing level chart here and the synoptic weather charts as well. And we start Saturday with temperatures well above freezing point over the mountains as a mild air mass is moving across Britain. But we do have a cold front coming down from the northwest as we go through Saturday morning. And that's a rapid drop of temperature to see things drop sub-zero above around 600 to 800 metres across the Highlands by the middle of the day, and dropping to freezing point or below as well across the tops in the Lake District and into Snowdonia as well as the afternoon goes on as a cold front continues its journey southwards. That's how the chart looks then. That's the middle of the day, and there's the cold front sinking south across Britain. Very windy, the close proximity of those isobars really indicating the powerful winds, and you'll be expecting stormy conditions across many of the mountains throughout the daytime, maybe just lessening a touch as time goes on, but take nothing away from it. It will be a wild day. Very difficult conditions, even at moderate elevations. You're talking for a spell across the Cairngorm Plateau of wind gusts in excess of 100 miles per hour, so a serious day across the mountains in terms of winds. We'll see some snow and some hail showers following in behind that front across northern Scotland, and one or two showers behind a belt of rain which is breaking apart a little bit as it sinks southwards over England and Wales. As we go overnight Saturday into Sunday, we'll see things staying sub-zero across the mountains, some icy conditions forming, and with the wind dropping, we'll see a touch of frost as well into many valleys and glens for Sunday morning. Now Sunday, quite a complicated story in terms of the weather and the freezing level as the next Atlantic system rolls in. That will tend to lift the freezing level above the mountain tops in England and Wales as time goes on, but for Scotland it's rising subtly, but leaving many of the mountains near or below freezing point, and well inland across the Highlands it'll be close to freezing even down into some of the glens, so precipitation that arrives has the scope to fall to low levels as snow. Maybe around the west coast the milder air just gets in to mean things fall more as rain. That's the chart for the day. Then we've got this area of low pressure developing and deepening as it runs in from the west. Now that is a generally deteriorating picture through the day, so a bright cold start, but the wind will be increasing, getting to gale force, even stormy conditions later on in the day as that low swings its way in, and also deteriorating in terms of cloud and precipitation arriving. For England and Wales, mostly patchy and drizzly, but something a bit more substantial across the Highlands. So if we just run things on hour by hour through Sunday, now this chart just shows you the precipitation and where we'll see some shading on the colours. That will be the indication of snow. Now it's mainly dry then through the morning time, but by about mid-morning onwards that's arriving in the west coast of Scotland, patchy at first but becoming more persistent into the middle of the day and the afternoon, and snow turning up increasingly and setting in across the Scottish mountains even to lower elevations well inland. So through the middle of the afternoon up to sunset, snow will fall pretty extensively across the Scottish mountains, maybe all but those lower areas around the west coast. Some areas of rain, drizzle and a few snow flurries too across the tops in England and Wales, but small amounts here, but just filling in to go all rather damp as the afternoon goes on. But an extensive snowfall across the Scottish mountains is likely onwards into the evening time. At low elevations, all rather wet and slushy at best, but across the mountains, a substantial fall of snow. Now that snow will stick around into the start of next week because as we go into Monday, temperatures stay cold, and we'll start Monday morning with much terrain frozen to lower levels, particularly in Scotland, and a freezing level around 600 to 800 metres in England and Wales. Just coming up a little bit here through the daytime, but across Scotland we're not really lifting that freezing level much above 600 metres for many inland areas, and it may go quickly to frost again by Monday evening. So the snow that has fallen will lie and stay in place throughout the day on Monday, and it will more or less stay around for the week ahead. But there will be a period of thaw into Tuesday as the temperature just lifts, as the air mass changes coming in from the west. So a spell of temperatures being above freezing point for a while into Tuesday, most markedly for England and Wales, but temperatures will fall again through Tuesday afternoon across Scotland. So we're taking things back below freezing point, above say 800 metres, maybe even a touch lower in the north of the Highlands. And if we take the story further on through the week, this is just into the middle of the day on Wednesday, and you can see it's around the 600 to 800 metres mark across Scotland for the freezing level, a bit higher around the coasts towards Mull and Arran, and it's near or above freezing across England and Wales, so a bit of a boundary here where the Welsh mountains are above zero. The Lake District is hovering around freezing point for Wednesday. This is how all that looks on the synoptic charts. For Monday, still a windy day, the risk of gales, maybe even severe gales for a time in places, so a significant or severe wind chill factor in exposure on the high tops once again. Some places getting away with a dry and bright day, a few cloud banks in places around some western coastal hills. Northern Scotland, though, seeing maybe a feed of snow showers or flurries for a while. These could be locally frequent, amounts generally small, as a ridge of high pressure begins to build back in. The warm front out to the west is what will then lift those temperatures a touch as we go into Tuesday. There's the warm sector that moves through. That's that brief spell of thaw running through before the cold front comes down from the north again during the day. So a windy day once again, you can see that from the isobars, and it's a gale, if not a severe gale, across the high tops for a good part of Tuesday. Some drizzly damp conditions, maybe some sleet and snow flurries just around in the chillier air over northern Scotland as the temperatures begin to fall again, and all rather filled in with low cloud across many western areas, best of any breaks towards the east. But the main story of the day again is going to be the wind. Now for Wednesday, a brief ridge of high pressure builds from the south, nowhere near as windy as early in the week, but still rather a blustery day across the hills with those west by northwesterlies. We've got the chilliest air then, as we've mentioned, across Scotland, with temperatures near or below freezing point, a few snow showers coming in to the northwest. Low cloud likely to be across the Welsh mountains, maybe something a little bit brighter at times across northern England. The mildest of the air then around that warm front across Wales, where it's above freezing. Now it may be that through late Wednesday into Thursday, somewhat milder air drifts a bit further northwards again, and we go back towards or above freezing point even to the high tops in Scotland. But just to have a look where we go late in the week, and once more a colder push of air comes down from the northwest, and this may well be more sustained for a few days into next weekend. We need to watch the detail at this distance, but the idea of a more pronounced northwesterly push where we keep those temperatures down for a few days through Friday into Saturday and Sunday, the freezing level then down to say 600 metres or lower in Scotland, and it may well be 600 to 800 metres or even lower for a time across England and Wales. So the scope is there for a more wintry spell as we head into next weekend for a more sustained run of days. I don't think we go too much further with that because I think the milder air may well get back in on westerlies into the following week, but next weekend is looking cold. To finish with, that's how that would look on a weather map, and the exact detail is going to be uncertain at this stage, but low pressure somewhere just between Scotland and Iceland and drawing in an airflow from the northwest and a cold pattern in charge. It could still be rather windy at times, the risk of further gales in the forecast as that low pressure is still close by, but it does though look as though we're in for a colder few days. Plenty to watch for in the days ahead, then keep up to date with the local details every day on the mwis website. That's your Friday planner in association with Ellis Brigham. Thanks for watching, bye for now.